I was wrong. I was wrong. And I thought there was no way, there was no comeuppance that would be poetic enough. I had constant anxiety every page. For goodness sake, there was a car chase. Hey you guys, I am reading another ARC book, and this one is Thieves Gambit by Kayvion Lewis. Thank you in advance to NetGalley and Kayvion Lewis for giving me a free digital copy of this book so that I could give my honest review. And here's my honest review so far. I'm only about 10% in. Let me tell you what it's about. First of all, Ross Quest is a thief, and not a petty thief. She is in a family of these super high octane, very good at what they do, thieves. However, Ross isn't sure that's exactly what she wants. She actually wants to get out into the world and go to college and meet other people because life as a thief, life as a criminal, it's kind of isolated. She's going to use those thief skills to sneak off, but then a heist goes very wrong and her mom is put into severe, severe danger. Ross needs to save her mom, and the only way to do that is to enter the Thieves Gambit, which is a competition for high-stakes thieves and enormous payback. And if it's gonna save her mom, she's gonna go and she's gonna win. First of all, I love how unexpected, everything inside this book is. Usually when I think of thieves, I think of a historical fiction or a fantasy set in a historical fiction. Nope, completely modern day. Second, the characters. Ross is so lovable, so relatable, and her relationship with her mom is so cool because, again, that's not something that I've seen played through a lot. It's like this mixture of loyalty and expectations and safety, but also wanting to break off and discover new things. And I know it has been done before, but at the same time, it just feels so fresh, so new, something that I at least don't see a lot and not in this way before. I love her mom too, her auntie, all of these people who just have their own quirks and their uniqueness and their bling and their personalities. Each one feels like they're right there, and frankly, like people that I would hang out with, not stealing stuff, but just to have a conversation with. The world building is really neat because it feels like it should be in some kind of either futuristic world, kind of like the Hunger Games, or a past world, kind of like Six of Crows, but it's not. It's set right here, and yet it's got those wild and wonky things dragged into our world, and that is just priceless. I am always looking for stuff like that. The plot is phenomenal. There's never a slow moment. I haven't quite gotten to the actual Gambit part, but I'm about to, and so I have a feeling that the plot is going to get even better. I will let you know when I am halfway through because I am already very, very happy with this book by Kayvion Lewis. I can't even tell you. I've needed this book for a while. I have needed this book and its world and its characters and its detail and nuance. I need it, and I need to keep needing it. So I'll come back when I'm halfway through. Okay, I am not halfway through. I am done. And let me tell you, that was fantastic. First of all, the characters were so eccentric. It was just fun to watch them exist. But they were also, I felt so strongly about every single one of them. I either adored them within the depths of my heart, or I despised them and I wanted with all my heart for them to lose badly. In fact, there was one character that I just could not stand. I could not, whenever she appeared on the page, I was just like, oh my goodness, I need her off. And I thought there was no way, there was no comeuppance that would be poetic enough, that would be satisfying enough for that person. I was wrong. Kayvion Lewis did it, and when it happened, I was like, yes. And then the other characters who I adored, specifically Milo and Kyung-soon, they had my entire heart. They were so supportive, they were so lovely, they were so gentle on the inside, but could take care of business, and they were so there for Ross. I was done. I was absolutely done. There was a part where I almost died because Kyung-soon and Milo did something that was just so beautiful and so lovely for Ross, and I couldn't get enough of it. Those two were my favorites in the book, along with Ross, who of course is just amazing the whole time. She's just an awesome girl. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's after. She still has conflict. She still has confusion. She just felt so real and so relatable and so right there. I want to be with you, girl. And then there was the boy. There was Devereaux. And I saw him and he was the classic trope. The, oh my goodness, the gentlemanly, handsome, striking, charming one who right off the bat, Ross has just kind of got a crush on just because he's gorgeous. And I had my own thoughts about what I wanted to happen between those two. Let me just say it, I didn't really want them to end up together because that was like way too obvious for me, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I had a hunch that they were probably going to wind up together because that's the way that the trope goes. And so I kept reading, and the whole thing felt like Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I know a lot of people have compared it to Ocean's 8, which I'm sure it is, and some people have said The Hunger Games, which I get, but really, if you have seen Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, that kind of feeling encapsulates this entire book. High octane, high tech, high jukes. The story was always juking me out. I never knew what was happening next. I had constant like anxiety every page. I was like, what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen now? There was one section where it slowed down a little bit more than I would have liked, but that was just to lead to the next, oh my goodness, I can't stop reading this section. The whole book. I was just like, oh my goodness, please, 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 Ross, win, win, win. It even had that same trope of go to a formal event and defeat bad guys there. For goodness sake, there was a car chase, and the car chase might have been my favorite part of the book. I will say this, it was a tiny bit heavy-handed with the theme because the theme was like right there. It was about Ross has trust issues and she needs to learn to trust people. And for the first half, for actually most of the book, it felt like, have you guys ever seen Raya and the Last Dragon, where it's like quite apparently right out there about needing to learn to trust people when you don't trust people anymore because you've been burned, even if you're going to trust those people who have burned you and are likely to burn you again. So that's what it seemed. It even hit some of the same like plot points as Raya and the Last Dragon. So I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be the theme. This is where it was going to go. And that wasn't going to be one of my favorite parts of the book. But then we got to the last 50 pages and I was wrong. Kayvion Lewis blew that idea out of the water and blew me out of the park because that was such a much better ending than I was imagining. It actually felt believable. So Raya and the Last Dragon, I did not feel like that whole dynamic was believable at all. You know, like feel good beyond what I actually think would happen. This one did. You remember when I said I didn't think there was a sufficient comeuppance and Kayvion Lewis came up with it? I didn't think there was going to be a satisfactory ending. Kayvion Lewis came up with it and I was just happy and I can't wait till the next book comes out. But this one just came out yesterday, so please go read it now, and you guys have to wait in misery with me, waiting for the next one to come out to find out how this really ends. And if it's just more of this, if it's a duology of just this, I'm just gonna be happy. I'm happy right now, but then I'm gonna be more happy. All right, so that is it for my review of my ARC copy of Thieves Gambit by Kayvion Lewis. Thank you so much to Penguin Teen and NetGalley for giving me an electronic ARC in exchange for an honest review. I honestly loved it and I recommend that you guys go check it out. Thank you again, you guys, for being here with me today. I had so much fun and I hope you did too. Please have a great day. God bless and see you next time. Bye-bye.